And welcome back. Alright, so we are at Königshaven again, and I've done quite a bit of selling. We are now rich, for a while at least. I've also treated Zupir's pierced arm muscles. And the goal of today is to go for this place, the Artifact Reliquary. So, without further ado, let's, I guess, sail to Saltkai. I will, of course, be killing the opposition we face along the way, but probably pretty soon we can do that place, which is the second new legendary location. Anyway, I guess there's nothing to do over here, so let's just start moving over there. Let's get a move on and let's see how this goes. Oh, I saw brigands. Okay, I'll kill them. I will kill them as an appetizer. We are still leveling people as well, so let's do it. I'll just wait around. And then we will absolutely slaughter them. Okay. Let's see. So basically it seems like there is no good rotation available unless... well, no. We don't need that since Gerhard has Polar Mastery. I don't know. Let's see. Just move somewhere. Go there. That's fine. You can go help, I guess. Nice shot, dude. Oh, is there someone in here? Maybe, because Gerhard decided to go that way. Yeah, hello there. Mr. Vandal without a helmet. Nice to see you. Don't really have much to say about a fight like this. It will be over quickly. Okay, 5 of them left here. I did have a pretty, well, I guess I can't say exhausting, but semi-close to exhausting day. So we'll see how the actually possibly difficult fight will go here. I do have 2 Save Scums I can use, just for the legendary location. Anyway, that fight is done. Zupir gets a level up. And we get a bunch of bandit junk. Okay, Zupir level 16. Okay, more hit points, please. The low hit points will, I guess, possibly be pretty bad in the Black Monolith fight. Maybe just because of the noxious fumes that the priests will be throwing our way. So in that fight, I guess the people who are low on hit points and resolve will have to ideally start on the southern flank. Anyway, let's repair some of the garbage that we got. And then continue on our merry way. I might even decide to do the witch hut during this run, but definitely not before the Black Monolith, because there's a pretty high chance that someone dies in a fight like that. Okay, undead. I will, of course, deal with them. Alright, let's just wait again. I do like this wait with everyone feature. I guess though, yeah, let's just end. I maybe should have just ended, since it's just these zombies and ghasts. The ghasts, of course, will not engage straight away. Okay, let's get to the killing business. Okay, doesn't matter what I do here with Bertram. We don't need the tactician abilities for this. Zombies are too easy to hit anyway. Guess I shouldn't say too easy to hit, but you know what I mean. Anywho, let's deal with these things. Nicely done. Inspiring presence is pretty nice to have, but the thing about that is that skeleton ancient priests also have it, so that makes the Black Monolith fight all that much difficult. And they don't... undead don't run out of fatigue, of course. So when they have more AP to play around with, it's pretty bad. Pretty nasty. Okay, a couple more to kill here. Alright, just one more, and there we are. Yoink. I'll also do this place. I'm assuming that they came from here, but we'll see. It might also be brigands. No, it is undead. Okay, let's see if there's a necromancer, perhaps. Yes, at least one of them. I'll still just hold here, though. Basically, there is no undead camp like this that can pose a problem, I don't think. Unless there's like multiple champions and necromancers and ghasts, perhaps, but I don't know. I don't know if that can even spawn, really. In Legends, such a thing is possible, but if it is also possible in Reforged / Vanilla, then I suppose it would take a long amount of time. Anyway, I guess I'll use Onslaught, even though we don't really need it. Let's also advance, because it's fine. You guys can wait though. So the first legendary location was pretty easy, of course, but that's because it was designed to be a mid-game location, I guess. So we'll see just how tough this second location, which is only revealed after the first one, will be. We shall see. And we'll see how my brain functions today, when I actually perhaps need to make decisions, unlike in this fight, where I'm basically going to be fine every single time, despite autopiloting. Now what the... Again with this, it only affects Milo, it seems. So I can't attack anything. And this will fix itself once I wait or something. That's really strange and really annoying. Like, what the hell? Huh. Well, doesn't matter really, but... I wonder what causes it. Anyway, let's keep on dealing with this undead here. Nice to be able to attack 3 times with a polearm. I guess perhaps I should have used Bearded Blade here, but that also doesn't make a difference, really. Not here. Just go there. Okay, 14 of them left. Currently 14. Of course, things will change. Also, that's not really all that dangerous, but they do indeed have these flail perks. So they can attack multiple targets occasionally. Anyway, I guess I'll go for the Necro here. Might be getting pushed back though. We will find out. Leofric horrified. That's quite a few 95 misses. Oh well. So it goes sometimes. Okay, I can't encourage from here. How about if I move? It seems I'm not allowed to move. Okay, sure. Well, you're just going to have to run away then, Leofric. Good luck to you. Guess I should have just rallied, but I don't know. I was expecting to get away with it, but that was not the case. Actually taking a bit of damage from this one. And we are missing a lot for some reason. Out of fatigue. They should have just recovered there. And stay down. Okay, 5% puncture hits Zahiri. As you do. Oh yeah, I can't encourage if someone's fleeing. I forgot about that. Need to remember such details. Oh, what the hell? Now it's affecting Einar. Can't attack this one. That's so strange. What the hell? And if I move, then I can target this one. Weird stuff. I think I did have that same bug on my first run. I might have even had it on Legends occasionally, but I can't remember if that was the case or not. Anyway, if it happens in a fight like this, it doesn't matter, but if it were to happen in an actually difficult fight, there is a chance that might cost someone's life. In that case, I might make an executive decision that it doesn't count as a Save Scum if that were to happen. Anyway, ghasts are down. One Necro is also down. Leofric is back in action. Let's let him hang around there. Alright, I guess I'll use the Indom, since I did take it. Alright, so one Necro, 3 zombies left. Alright. One to go. Two to go. Not sure why I had trouble saying that, but I did. Alright, so one more. You can do it, guys. You can do it. You can do it. You can't do it. There you are. Okay. That is done. Let's see. So Therabolt level 9 still, as is Gerhard. So we'll see if we are able to do this with 2 people on level 9. I would imagine that we have good chances though. The others are pretty excellent at their jobs. If this goes horribly wrong, I guess I'll spend one of the Save Scums. Where's the wine? Where are the delicatessens? Zahiri the Viper takes his plate of food and throws it like a disc. It goes impressively far, bits of food spraying off in a cone of caloric debris. I demand delicatessens, Captain! Where are my delicatessens? It seems the gladiators require food of finer qualities. But you cost me a fortune already. Okay, well, it seems we ran out of wine and beer, and so Zahiri is having a temper tantrum. Okay, anyway, here we are. Let's see, are you... No, this is still in effect. I guess we'll do something else for a little bit here. Wait for that. Maybe even get enough XP to level here, but seems unlikely. Yeah, that's too much. Too much fighting to be done, but let's see, what can we find? Can we find anything? Nothing there. How about in the west? In this little corner of the map. Or I guess I should say edge instead of corner. Small chance we get ambushed here. It is the night time in the forest. We should be able to defeat basically everything that ambushes us, but who knows? Also, yeah, you're back now. Okay, so don't know what we'll be facing. Probably this kind of the same thing as before. So exploding mutants, or flesh golems I think they were, instead of mutants. But we'll see what else is there. I guess there's really no need to do anything about the weaponry. Okay, so let's go. Let's go. Let us go. And in case this goes badly, of course, that's one save scum used, and I will load the autosave here. The estate towers over the area with pure cut stoneworks and colored roofing tiles. It has something most royalty cannot afford, which is a sense of taste. With grass trimmed low, the lawn seemed almost like a footprint onto an unkept land. Statues of people dot the landscape, capturing poses both regaling and regretful. Amidst the crowd of sculptures are hedges cut into the shapes of animals and fountains with clear water in them. The company stands outside a black fence, idling and staring through the bars like farm animals. Milo shakes his head and spits. Yeah, it's all quite pretty and all, but no deep pocket fark is just gonna leave the front gate open like this for no reason, you know? I think either somebody has already ran through the place, or something awful is inside, and it don't mind the occasional innocent passerby. You agree. When looking further in, you can see the path leads to a bowled-out decline, as if the gods had knuckled a bit of the earth itself with overhangs and escarpments encircling the area. If you're going to explore such a place, you know in your heart that you might not make it back. You could still leave now and return later. But we are going in. You ordered the company into the moon-like escarpment. Suddenly a man wearing a tall black helm swings himself around a statue. He wields an unusual staff, a trail of green mist wafting behind its glassy top. Welcome! Have you come to understand my work? It is in the warmth of mothering that one finds the primal instincts, the flashes of intellect which all creatures from the feeblest worms to the most soaring birds understand, and without which man shall never have supremacy over all things. I, a man, am mother now. I, a man, have broken the order, and on this instinct, native to all creatures, I shall rise, wombless, ascending above the architecture of nature herself, and become nurturer to all. I, the grand diviner, the one who shall moisten this dry earth with manifestations. Monologuing madmen wielding strange staffs rarely have good intentions. You draw your sword, and seeing your blade, the Grand Diviner goes quiet. He nods and swings his arms wide, a flash of green sparking from his staff. Creatures like those you've seen before, gelatinous bulbous assemblages of vague appendages, all start shuffling out from behind the statues. More yet encircle the entire company, occupying spaces on high, settling themselves onto the lip of the escarpments like visitors in a coliseum, ever ready to watch a good fight. The Grand Diviner grins and points his staff at you. Smile, sellsword, for when you die, I shall mutter you back into this world, and you shall find nurture into bosom of my power. Well, we'll see about that. Alright, and it seems I can see everything, and it's basically an arena fight. We have an audience. Flesh Golem Observer. Okay, and what do we have here? I'm not going to take a look at their abilities, not in detail. We have a Fault Finder. Okay, so we know these guys. We have a Greater Flesh Golem, so this one has heavy armor and a lot of hit points. I guess I can take a look at the perks though. So Underdog, etc, etc, etc. We have Flesh Golems. We have another Fault Finder. Greater Flesh Golem. This one is different though. Has lower armor. So it seems like there are 3 of these greater ones. How many Fault Finders? 4. I would assume that there perhaps will be more Flesh Golems joining the fight as it goes on, but we'll see. And here, of course, is the Grand Diviner, who is nimble. Has a flail of some kind. I'm not going to cheat and look at the flail, but he does have a flail. Alright, so I don't know if I really have a plan here. I guess the plan is just to kill everything in sight. But of course we know that these Flesh Golems will be exploding. I wonder if the fight will end once the Grand Diviner is down. Maybe. Who knows? Alright, I guess we'll just wait. Probably. Wait for the... Also, Flesh Cradles. How lovely. How lovely. Anyway, we will wait, I suppose, for the Flesh Golems to come towards us. And also we'll see about the Grand Diviner. He has a melee weapon, but supposedly he also has magic of some kind. Okay, well, let's wait. Like I said, we have 2 Save Scums available for just this fight. If someone dies here, I won't be spending a Save Scum though, unless it's a Gladiator, I guess. Or maybe the Banner, maybe. But I can tolerate a casualty or 2. Does mean that I need to train someone up for the Black Monolith, but so be it. Alright. We also do have the Tactician abilities, so we'll see how useful they are in this fight. Also, I'll lower the combat speed, so I can actually see what the enemies are doing. Let's leave it at 1.5. Okay, they are waiting around. Well, 2 can play that game. Also, the Grand Diviner is kind of coming closer. I'll cheat a little bit and take a look at his skills. So 80 melee skill, 15 melee defense. I wonder if he can be netted. I would imagine that he can. Okay. They are moving. So I wonder if these things can do similar stuff as Unholds, for example. Well, I guess we'll find out. I'll do a offensive rotation here. Also, maybe it's called for to go for a stun this time instead of a bonk attack. Well, Yeah, maybe the stun is better. And perhaps we can even deal with the Grand Diviner, though I'm sure he has some aces up his sleeve. And he's just not like a melee combatant who can be downed pretty easily. Okay, well, let's just move, I suppose. I guess Sahiri is a good candidate to go after the Grand Diviner. Anyway, so Einar, what's your initiative? It's pretty high. Yeah, it's definitely higher than these enemies of ours. Also, you have Underdog, you have 48 melee defense. Greater Flesh Columns have 70 melee skill. Slight cheat in knowing that. I am going to take my time in this fight, of course, since I have no idea how this will go. I haven't spoiled myself at all. I guess the plan is just to surround this one, and if I get the stun, if it's even stunnable, then we'll probably go for the Grand Diviner. And I suppose Sahiri goes for him immediately. Hopefully he doesn't get hit in the head by this apparently famed flail. Okay, well, best of luck to you, Sahiri. No, I take it back. Best of luck to everyone. Also, this is pretty annoying that we have this high ground here, and Wolfgang, of course, doesn't have Pathfinder or Vigorous Assault. Well, it's not a big deal. Yeah, I guess Milo will be tanking at least one of these things, but we'll see. We shall see. Theodobald also has the Indome, of course. And it's time for him to actually do things. Also, what I can do, perhaps, is just leave the regular flesh columns alive and send someone or some ones after the Fault Finders. We'll see. We'll see if that's prudent or not. Anyway, does it tell me that this thing is... Yes, immune to stun. Okay, fair enough. Well, then we'll just go for a bonk. 84. And we missed. Not the time to miss there, Leofric. Also, yes. I did forget. They do have this tentacle thing. And okay, sure. They can explode these things. Sure. The stagger is pretty bad, actually. Especially since no one has Resilient. Which I basically always have in Legends. I need to remember that the stagger is a thing. Well, we'll see how this goes, I guess. Probably no use in using the tactician abilities here. Not yet. Not just yet. Let's move the banner like here. I can't really control who gets grabbed like this. With the tentacles. Basically everyone except Gerhard can take a bit of punishment in melee though. Though a lot of us depend on dodge. So the stagger is pretty damn bad. Anyway, can you hit this thing? Yes, and we get the bolster. Okay, Theodobald, I guess I'll send Theodobald towards this Fault Finder in the south. And we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Okay, and Milo, I guess I'll send Milo out as a bait here. And if he dies, he dies. It's far better for Milo to die than for example, Wolfgang to die. Also, yeah, so these cradles, there's two of them here. I guess these are semi-irrelevant, but we might be getting more of these flesh golems to join the fight. So in that case, when we get grabbed, if they do indeed appear here, then they're no longer irrelevant. Having the sprint ability with like adrenaline would be pretty damn nice here, so we could just go for these fault finders. Anyway, do I use adrenaline here? I don't think it's going to matter necessarily. He does have lower initiative than these things do, but I don't think it matters here. So let's save the fatigue and not use it. Okay, so Hadi just probably goes for damage on this one. Maybe from the elevated position. We can stagger it, but we cannot stun it. I think I'll just go for the axes though. Deal some armor damage here. I would go for the Grand Diviner, but he's a bit far away. Also, if I do end up losing this fight and deem it necessary, I guess I could also use the potions for this fight, and then we'll get some more for the Black Monolith. Anyway, Zubair is semi-tanky. I'm wondering if I should send him up against the Grand Diviner, who perhaps can like teleport around or something, but as long as Zubair doesn't get hit, that would be nice. I guess we'll see what happens here. Okay, 2 attacks. I suppose I will go for the greater flesh column here, but of course the slight danger exists in that once it's actually dealt with, it can be exploded. But I suppose it's far better than leaving it alive. I could also try to move and attack the Grand Diviner here, which, I don't know, might have been the best option here, perhaps. The Grand Diviner does not have 9 lives and pretty low defenses, so maybe it was better to go for the Diviner there, but I'll just spend the attacks here. And I guess since we're getting staggered all over the place, I'll wait instead of ending here with Einar. Not with Leofric though, I don't think, since he has the unstoppable nonsense. This time he did land a hit. I could also use a dog. The dog would be pretty stupid though. They usually are. So I guess I won't be using it. What I could do perhaps is try to move, but I don't know if that's wise. Oh, come on, let me see. Come on, stay there. Okay, so it is dazed, so even if we get hit, it's going to hurt less. 70 melee skill though. It's probably better to not try to move. I don't know. If this were someone else who could wait without losing the benefits, then I would wait here. We are probably going to be able to deal with this flesh golem during this round pretty easily. And getting closer to the other targets would be nice. I think I'll just end turn here though. Also, what I could do is just send someone out as a bait close to a flesh cradle, just one person, and they will probably just explode that, and it won't hurt all that much, to be honest. Would be even better again with the sprint ability, because I could just escape as well. Just move next to it, wait, then they explode it, and then use the sprint ability again, and not have to take the noxious fume damage. Anyway, I could also go for the Grand Diviner here with a spear attack, or I could just attack twice against the flesh golem. Grand Diviner acts in 1 turn. I think I'll wait with Charade. Let's see how this develops. Okay, he has a reach attack and can attack it twice, which is pretty nasty. And we are getting grabbed all over the place. And also Einar did take a pretty nasty hit. What were the chances there? Sensor Strike, 23 hits and a 30% missed. Okay, well, we might be losing Einar in this fight, we'll see. Like I said, I'm fine with like a casualty or 2. Anyway, I suppose if we can kill the Grand Diviner soon, that would be far better. I think he's a bigger threat than these greater flesh columns are. Anyway, we can use passing step as long as I hit this. It's only 78 though. These things have, let's see, 10 reach. So despite having the low melee defense, the reach does come into play. Anyway, let's hope for a hit. We did get the hit. Okay, and now let's see what happens with the Grand Diviner, who also has a reach of 10. Okay, 74. And it is a hit. He doesn't teleport around like a Höllenhund in Legends. So are we getting grabbed here? Maybe. Which means a new stagger. I guess I'll just... Well, then again, do I care about the stagger all that much? On Zahiri, I mean, it's bad, but maybe the tempo bonus is better to keep alive. Maybe the tempo is better, so I guess I'll just end here with Zahiri. I could also use passing step here. Maybe not be able to be grabbed by this one, who is probably coming in now. Wolfgang is a bit in trouble. I guess he just attacks twice here. Also, he does have the Overwhelm, which will help us. Nice. Okay. Okay, sure. So, pretty funny attacks there. Damage isn't that bad, but was everyone staggered by that, or were they already staggered? I think they were already staggered, is the thing. Okay, now I'll cheat a little bit and take a look at this. Corpse Hurl. So that was what happened here. Milo got a corpse thrown at him, I guess. Didn't do all that much. It was a headshot though. He doesn't have steel brow, so I guess the damage from that isn't that bad. It doesn't say what the damage is. Leaving behind a corpse at the target location. Okay, so leaves a corpse, which means that that can be exploded, right? I would imagine so. They also have a flurry. Inflicts blunt damage. Strikes 6 times, distributing the hits evenly among all adjacent enemies. Okay. Cloud. Heavy blunt melee attack that stuns. Spike, which I guess happened here. And Mahdi, I think, was hit. Well, anyway, we are doing fine so far. Probably use the Falcon buff during this. Also, are you still acting? Acting, yeah, waiting with 1 action point. So I wonder what that means. Is that just to avoid status effects with Resilient? Maybe. Like if we manage to get a daze on the Grand Diviner with Resilient and the waiting trick, he can just get rid of it. What a cheater. No irony there. Anyway, let's wait with you. This one has spent its turn. Okay, Milo probably just continues being a distraction here in the north, but let's wait. Hadi has been actually overwhelmed. How are you slower than that thing? I guess because you're paranoid. Being paranoid makes you slow. Who knew? Anyway, so 95 to hit that. Mahdi cannot attack the Grand Diviner anyway. Cannot move that far. He does have the Berserk though. So I'm wondering if I move here. Also, I should probably spend the net on the Grand Diviner if I can. Okay, let's see. Well, it says I can. And I can, okay. There you go, enjoy that one. Let's move there. You can just do this, I suppose. I would imagine that you cannot disarm this thing, so probably no use in even trying. Okay, well, well, I guess not lucky, but 66 is not guaranteed by any means. Okay, Einar taking damage. Let's see. Yeah, 8 damage. That's why the hit points are so important in the Black Monolith fight as well. Anyway, Charade, now to make a decision with you. I guess the main thing is to deal with the Grand Diviner. So obviously we need to... Well, I don't know if the fight ends if the Grand Diviner is dealt with. Maybe, but probably not actually. I guess we'll focus on the Grand Diviner though. With you. I could also just go for the Greater Flesh Golem here actually. I get more attacks that way. Let's do that. 85 miss. I could try to move now. With 51 melee defense. But let's not. Okay, Adrenaline. Didn't notice that one. That's nasty. He might even be able to kill Einar. At the start of the round there. Anyway, Subar will go for the decapitations here, I suppose. It is pretty fatigue intensive to do that, but we have dealt hit point damage here. Okay, that's probably going to be it for him. We'll just do that. So I can use the Blitzkrieg. Which will, I think, enable Sahiri, perhaps, to act first before the Grand Diviner. Will it help the others? I guess yes, because we are staggered here. So I suppose it will be the time to use the Blitzkrieg, but I'll still wait on that decision. You guys are staying put, okay. The Falcon buff, I guess, is not as necessary. Well, it will do nothing if I use the Blitzkrieg. Anyway, I guess Theodobald will go for these ones, but he can't really deal damage, is the thing. And he's far from being ready. And by ready I mean reached level 11 with this thing being a success. So I wonder what's the best use of him. I do have a couple of nets, but we already netted the Diviner himself. And also these ones have almost been dealt with. I'm really hoping that these bigger ones don't explode with a bigger blast. Because that would be nasty. Anyway, Theodobald, I guess, provides some kind of moral support somewhere. Let's edge towards the enemies to the east. And the problem with moving Milo here is that one of these ones might decide to use a tentacle attack, after which Milo will be positioned in a place where I perhaps don't want him to be. So maybe what I do here is actually just stay put with Milo and do nothing. Maybe just shield wall though. That way I can maybe entice this Greater Flesh Golem to keep on targeting him, while keeping these ones at bay. I think I'll probably do that. Not sure if that's the correct choice, but let's do that. Not sure if the shield wall was a good choice there either, because of the loss of fatigue, but there you go. Okay, and you just enter, and let's use the Blitzkrieg. Definitely a big advantage over the vanilla, where obviously that ability does not exist. Oh, come on, dude. That would have been so good. So, once again, I could try to move, or I could just end here with Leofric. Well, you do have 80 melee defense. Okay, at this point I think I will try to move. Let's see if he's successful with that. Yes, dodges a 14. And Einar... Well, just go for it. Yep. still within range of the Diviner. I'm assuming this is a reach of 2 tiles with this weapon, not 3. So if I want to keep Einar alive, I should maybe try to move away. 41 melee defense is a bit low though. Especially in comparison to Leofric, so I guess I can't really do that. I shouldn't do it. He does have 9 lives as well, so perhaps he'll be fine? Perhaps? Perhaps. We'll see. Leaving the Flesh Column kill for Mahdi would be pretty good here, I think. But do I want to move on the Grand Diviner with Charade here? How much hit points do you have? 109. I could also just go for a shield wall and move and get the free attack from the Spear Mastery. But that's not even much damage. I think I'll just wait. It seems to be pretty unlikely that we can kill the Grand Diviner before he gets to do his thing. Also, maybe I was foolish in going for 3 decapitations there because Supar is basically out of fatigue. Oh well. Yeah, let's wait with Charade, I think. Though I can't promise that Mahdi will hit this. Okay, never mind. Let's go for the damage. Okay, left that. Never mind. Dead. So that's good, but also this thing can now be exploded. Anyway. Nice. And... okay, not quite as nice, but still nice. 38 hit points for the Grand Diviner. Okay, and sadly Wolfgang cannot get to the Diviner, wants to go for the Flesh Column instead. 2 hits is good. Milo, yeah, it was a mistake. Yeah, big mistake actually to use the shield wall, because I used the Blitzkrieg as well. Okay. Well, I think since he's fatigued out, let's just wait instead of doing anything else. I wonder if he can be stunned. Well, in any case, our stunner, Hadi, acts after the Diviner does. I think I'll rotate Einar out of this dangerous position, though. That's why I took the rotation after all. And he will target someone else instead, unless this is a 3-tile reach weapon. I would imagine that it isn't, though. I could take a look, but let's not. Let's not. Okay, I'll rotate Einar in this direction. And let's also wait. Okay, Gerhard can go for a hit here. If he hits the head, that's actually a kill unless I'm missing something. Like, he might be able to respawn maybe once or maybe even twice, who knows. Well, let's see. 95 and... oh, hello there. He's back. He is back. Rude. Well, nice to know that I was right, I guess. Kind of. I wonder if we can keep doing that, or if we need to deal with all the fault finders or something first. Well, anyway, I guess Gerhard moves out of this spot. This one should be dying, right? Before it gets to do anything. Let's move here. Okay, and please kill. Left with 8 hit points, so let's use the lower fatigue cost weapon. Then again, getting the decapitation finish with Supar would be good. Because he gets the cleaver buff from that. But can I trust in him to be able to finish the job here? I think I probably can, but it is a risk. I could just basically guarantee the death of the flesh golem here with Hadi instead. He also needs to move out of that noxious fumes because of his low hit points. I think I'll just get the kill with you. Oh, come on, not the head. Okay. So 2 greater flesh golems down. We haven't gotten new enemies, at least not yet. Also, I still don't know what the blast radius of these things is. Is it just a 1 tile radius or is it larger than that? Bertram, I guess, moves. I guess we'll go for this one. This Fault Finder. Probably. We are also getting fatigued out though. Which is not good, obviously. Moving Bertram to the front here might not be the best idea either. Maybe just here. Let's do that. Okay, Zubair, probably get the hell out of there. Get the hell out of there, I mean, before this thing explodes. Has taken damage. Might be getting tentacled by this one. I would also like to recover, but I don't want to recover here. Move there. Okay. Oh, what the hell? What is your range on that ability? Also, now we have this, yeah, Greater Flesh Golem is next to Wolfgang. That's pretty damn bad. That's pretty damn bad. We have dealt with 2 of them, but this one is at full. It doesn't have as much armor as the other one. At least one of them did, but the damage is now spread out. Guess I'll use the Falcon buff. Maybe that will help us. Yeah, it should help us. Alright. Take a bit of damage. Well, maybe Milo actually does go for these ones. The Fault Finders are pretty easy to kill if you're able to actually reach them. Not the ideal spot to go to though. This one will have a high ground advantage if I try to move here. I can also use the adrenaline, but we are getting fatigued out. If I move here and adrenaline, might also just be getting tentacled anyway. I'll just see what happens there. This is a learning experience. And this one is still going to get exploded, right? Yes. Okay, well, Mahdi is running out of fatigue. Well, if we lose some people here, like I said, it's kind of acceptable, but that will make the run go longer. As long as we win, though. Okay. Come on, let me see. Okay, we have a lot more initiative than this thing does. It might be better to just move away from here. Wolfgang is in trouble, but I don't know. Maybe he just will be a sacrifice here. I don't know. Not much we can do. Yes, Mahdi does have the rotation, but he's fatigued out, and also he's over here. Does someone else have rotation? Seems like the answer is no. So yeah, like we cannot stun. I can get the stagger, but does that even do anything? Not really. If I move here with Hadi, then he's going to be targeted by the Grand Diviner again. If I move here, yeah, that's pretty damn bad. I don't want to stay put either. How about moving here? Nah, let's go there. I don't know. And that's a problem. This thing can be exploded. And I still don't have a definitive answer because I didn't pay enough attention. Does this have more than a one tile radius or not? Anyway, Einar, you're just going to have to do something here. But what is it? I don't know. Go there. Okay, and Theater Bolt. Yeah, and also this Flesh Cradle is going to get exploded. I'll move there. You'll see. Okay, Leofric, just go for these ones, I guess. So, yeah, Fault Finder there and there. It would be really nice to know if this thing can keep coming back. Did he, like, take a Fault Finder's place as he respawned? Maybe he did. I didn't notice, but maybe he did. Anyway, with Sahiri I could do a bunch of things. I could go for these Fault Finders here. Yeah, maybe the way to go in this fight is have like a super tank handle the Grand Diviner and deal with all the other enemies if you can with the rest of the team while you do that. Maybe. But the tentacle grab thing does mess things up for that plan. I could also just wait with Sahiri. I think I'll probably just wait. Let's do it so. Okay, attack twice, get that help from the overwhelm, but I think it's pretty safe to say that Wolfgang might be dying here. Okay, grabbed and exploded. Grabbed and grabbed again. Okay, you gave him the high ground though. That's a bit funny. That is a bit funny. Anyway, Wolfgang is now actually closer to us, which might even save his life, maybe? Guess I'll use Hold Steady now. Okay. Yes, you do that. Have fun. Yeah, these things are not really a threat. But of course the Grand Diviner is pretty nasty. Flesh Golem is perhaps about to kill Wolfgang, by the way. Well, let's see. He instead throws a corpse somewhere around here. Overwhelmed and staggered for Hadi. The stagger came from before, right? I think so. Well, sure. Sure, I guess. What I could also do is just use Theodobald in the role that he has, which is try to tank the Grand Diviner, but he's about to run out of fatigue as well. I think I'll just recover with him. Super waits. Also, I don't know what the hell the Grand Diviner did. He ended his turn. Maybe I'm not, like, focused enough for this fight. Also, it does say 18 enemies, I just noticed, and there are far fewer here. Does it count these flesh cradles in that? I'm not going to count, but maybe. Anyway, Wolfgang is still alive, so maybe I can skip the rotation. Let's keep it as an option, though. Getting a stagger on this now would be actually pretty nice. So I think I'll go for it. Well, no stagger. Okay, sure. Zahiri... I think Leofric, with the help of maybe like Gerhard, can handle this Fault Finder just fine. Maybe focus on this Flesh Golem here. Though it's a bit dangerous to move here in case the Diviner decides that he wants to take this spot. We could also just go for these ones. I think I'll just go for the Flesh Golem here, though. This one also has basically no armor, so this weapon works very well. Okay, and Shurade will go for this flank, I guess. Wolfgang takes more damage. Okay, Milo should be able to move here. Gives up the high ground, of course. Start dealing damage, and now let's use this. Move. Okay, and Gerhard, like I said, support over here. And Einar... I guess gets ready to help with the Flesh Golem. I mean, he has taken a bunch of damage, but... he needs to contribute, is the thing. And Subair... I guess I don't want to get next to the Diviner here. Let's help with this Flesh Golem here with him as well. And also edge closer to these ones. Okay, so you are still staggered. This one isn't. I guess Wolfgang can still survive for a bit. So probably no need to rotate here. I guess help here, though that means stepping into the noxious fumes. Or miasma, I guess, is the proper terminology. Could also just recover, I guess. Maybe step here. That leaves some options. Might be getting grabbed and getting pulled in here or something. Who knows? I'll move here. Let's see what happens. Okay, and can you heal, perhaps? Not quite. Not quite. Still using a damn arming sword for him, which is semi-pathetic at level 14. Like, we've been, I guess, a bit unlucky not finding noble swords. I guess I could have also used like a Saturn sword, but whatever. That would have been enough to kill this. Left at 3 hit points. I guess I'll use the adrenaline again. Stagger doesn't matter, but let's wait, I guess. Okay, and maybe just ignore the Flesh Golem and go for the Fault Finder. Flesh Golem does need to be dealt with, I suppose, but the Fault Finder is more dangerous. Not the time. Not the time, Leofric. Well, I guess he tried. Let's use a dog. Good boy. Go for it. Okay, Einar. Go for it as well. Maybe I should have waited with him, though. Not sure. Well, too late now. Okay. We are missing a lot. Yes, yes, nice staggering. Uh-oh. Here comes the big boy. Oh, bled out. Alright. Yes, you can attack a lot, but you're basically not a threat at all. Alright, so Gerhard acts in a moment here. Let's wait with you. Also, I think what did happen is that the Grand Diviner did take one of these Fault Finder's place. I would imagine that he cannot take a Flesh Golem's place, but who knows? Well, someone knows, but I don't. Okay, just do that. And end, I suppose. Okay. So, yeah, pretty low chances. And damage is not that bad. Not yet. Okay, so do I use Onslaught here? Is there a point? Probably not, actually. Maybe I'll save that for later. That means I recover instead. Can't really reach Einar to rally. Also, he's not quite breaking yet. He's only wavering. I'll recover there. Wolfgang attacks twice, I guess. But if I do so, I still continue to take damage from the fart gas, sadly. Well, he can still take some damage. We need to deal with this thing. So, just deal with it, I guess. Okay, so 7. Let's go for one of these, and maybe one of these. Okay. Mahdi. Would be nice to actually hit the Grand Diviner here, but he still has a couple of options, so maybe not. This is 12 fatigue. Well, I guess it's good to weaken him, if we can. Let's try it. Okay, 75. Nope. Well, you tried your best. Okay, let's see. Huddy. So, can I deal with this flesh golem without the need to stagger? I think I can. I could try to stagger the diviner here. I think I will go for it. Also, he didn't use the adrenaline this time. For some reason. 80% miss. Okay. Get your mace out. It seems we're going to win this, but let's see if there are also casualties. Also, should you guys probably be able to... Yes, I think you guys will be able to handle this, so Shurade actually, after all, goes north instead. Also, Theodobald, I guess can't really do much here, so you can help here instead. Once again, let's try to ignore. Okay, good. Go away. Go away. Oh, out of fatigue. Now I'll try to move. And yeah, okay, sure. $77. Well, I guess I'll make sure. Kind of, make sure. It will be exploded though, but I guess we are going to be able to handle that. Maybe not go for this flesh. Well, then again. Like I said, I don't know if the Grand Diviner can take a flesh golem's place. Well, in any case, I think I'll move. And deal a bit of damage there. Okay, Einar, get the hell out of there. Before this thing explodes. It's about to blow! Or something. Also, that was the wrong place to go, because, yeah. The Grand Diviner is in reach. I forgot he has a reach attack. Well, whatever. He has 9 lives. He has 9 lives. Dog is doing something. Move or recover or wait. I think we move, probably. Let's actually wait, though. And I think we're too far away for Onslaught to be able to do much. Well, basically anything. Just wait for now. Okay, that's fine. Lots of attacks this thing can do. Or I don't know if it's all from the weapon. If some of these weapon attacks that the Grand Diviner can do, are they just his abilities or are they the weapon's abilities? Not sure. Anyway, you guys can handle a flesh golem. Let's move Gerhard towards the priority targets, actually. Okay, and Zubair hasn't really been able to do much this fight. I guess he's done a bit of damage though. Still using a non-famed weapon as well. Well, Milo can probably deal with this Fault Finder on his own. So what we'll do here is, I suppose, move there. Next to the Diviner. Okay, 75. And this time we did land it. Okay, he's going to Adrenaline Cheat this time. Well, so it goes. I think Hadi just recovers. Might be about to die, but that's what you signed up for, basically, when you joined. Okay, Wolfgang, I think, just moves out of there, but to where? I could also just recover inside the miasma. Now that's a bit silly, but I could. What I could do is move and attack the Grand Diviner as well. That leaves Wolfgang vulnerable to being killed though. He also does have 9 lives. And 38 melee defense though. The Adrenaline Cheat is going to enable the Diviner to do nasty things though before we can finish him off here. Also, he can't be finished off anyway, since he can at least take this one's place, I think. Still not entirely sure about the mechanics of this fight, but anyway, let's do that. If he dies, he dies. I'll just have to train up a new guy again, but I guess that makes the run a bit more exciting. Maybe not worth the risk there, but I don't know. Let's do it. Also, Bertram is at full health and armor, so I think this is going to be fine, even though he can be targeted. Also, this thing, I guess, maybe can still explode, though it seems like the Fault Finders cannot do anything while in melee. Oh, nice. Okay, Milo pulling his weight. Now the question is, can the Grand Diviner take a Flesh Golem's place as well? There are 3 of them left. And also, is he able to kill someone here? Now, he's trying his best, but Wolfgang is still alive. And it seems he still has his 9 lives as well. Okay. Good. And this is a long enough fight where unstoppable and decisive will mean running out of fatigue. So I guess I need battle flow for next level. Well, if Leofric makes it that far. Anyway, for science, I guess I should probably try to kill the Grand Diviner now, just to see if the Flesh Golems can indeed be... is vestibule the right word? Probably not, I don't know. Well, anyway, can he teleport into their body and do his thing again? Also, Sahir is out of fatigue. I guess I'll just recover instead of attacking once, right? 14. No, I can attack twice with slash. Okay, let's do that. Okay, Einar, let's see if you can handle this. Though there are other candidates as well, but let's go with Einar. Oh, we get the stun. Well, that doesn't really matter here. I guess if I knew for sure that the Flesh Golems can act as his clone bodies or whatever, then this stun would be perhaps good here, but I'm going to just attack him here and see what happens. It seems we were able to deal with him. Okay. Doesn't seem like he's coming back this time. Let's at least hope so. Also, it still says 12 enemies left. We have 3 of these flesh columns here. Well, maybe it is indeed these flesh cradles. Doesn't look like there's enough of them though. Well, whatever. I'll not worry my pretty little head about it. Okay, Wolfgang. I guess try to play it safe now. He's taken a fair bit of punishment. Okay. Well, if this is the end of the fight, then I guess this was semi-easy. It seems like no casualties. But I guess that also makes sense since this is a pretty strong team and we have the Reforged abilities to help us out here. Vanilla, I suppose, will be tougher. Gerhard just moved there. Stabity stab stab. Get the opportunist thing, I guess. Don't throw that though. Too far. Alright. You can recover now, I think. It's inside the fart gas, but oh well. So it goes sometimes. Sometimes you just can't avoid the smells. You just have to deal with it. So it seems like 2 flesh columns to go. And if this indeed is the end of this fight, like it seems to be, then I guess I should be pretty glad that no one died and I didn't have to use a Save Scum. That is good. Obviously. Just recover. Because of the days. Partly. Alright. Now, of course, would be a pretty nice rug pull if the diviner was like psych and came back and all the spectator flesh columns would just join the fight as well. That would be pretty funny. But no, that is not the case. That's the end of the fight. Okay. Good. Good. So, yeah, like I said, semi-easy for this team. And like I said as well, probably at least to some extent because of the Reforged perks and abilities that we have. Anyway, I'm happy that we got that done. So now we've done the 2 new legendary locations added to the base game. I think Reforged and Legends should rebalance these fights a bit since they seem to be semi-easy, but whatever, I guess that's fine. So now we only have the Black Monolith to deal with, and everyone's alive after this fight. So if Theodbold, our tank candidate, actually succeeds with his promised potential, we might be doing that relatively soon. And I say relatively because time is, of course, relative. So we'll see. Anyway, loot. No, actually, let's take a look here. So who dealt the most damage? Zahiri, 850. And Wolfgang, nearly the same number. And Einar, 700. Okay. And we took 1 injury. Okay. Pretty nice. And we get more marble busts. We get the Cowl of Divination, the distinctive headdress worn by the Grand Diviner. The elaborate design limits the wearer's vision, but offers excellent protection. So that seems like a pretty good nimble helmet. The durability is not the highest, but -2 fatigue only, so if you have like steel brow and nimble, then that's an excellent piece. Also, it might even do something special, but it doesn't say here. Also, we get the robes of divination, okay? The robes worn by the Grand Diviner. The sturdy layers of leather and heavy linen offer excellent protection. So that's a pretty nice nimble piece of armor as well. These things are pretty bad. Occult robes. You also get some tools and a couple of marble busts, which I'm assuming are just things to sell. But I didn't sell these ones that we got from earlier. Anyway, take that. The diviner is found in the mire of his creatures, a wounded man, strewn across the afterbirth of his own manifestations. His heavy helmet guards his neck, but you simply crouch down and lever the point of your sword under it. Like lifting a bucket with a dagger, he coughs and says, "You can't truly kill me, no more than you can kill Mother Nature." You nod and drive the steel through his chin until you hear its tip touch the top of his helm. Blood spews over the neck guard. Standing, you say, "I am Mother Nature." Okay, well, not quite the Schwarzenegger level one-liner there, but sure. Wolfgang laughs. "Nice line, Captain. Sorta dumb if you think about it too much, but yeah, my thoughts exactly. Like, I wouldn't call this bad writing, because, yeah, it does acknowledge whatever, but sure. You cut the sellsword off and tell him and the rest of the men to loot the place. Surely the Gothic estate has some valuables that will have made this venture worthwhile. As for the diviner's curious staff, still yet swirling with a faint green glow, you have it taken to inventory. As you prepare to leave, a report comes in that a number of the flesh golems ran out of the Gothic estate and fled into the wild. Their progenitor is dead, but it seems you may still yet continue to find his creations. Okay, so out in the wilds we'll find more of those things, okay? And we also gain a censer of the diviner. At least the most monstrous of the lot is dead. Alright. Well, that's that done. So let's take a look at that thing. Oh, come on. Let me see. Okay, worth 14,000. Damage 60 to 110. That's quite a lot. Legendary item. A heavy censer repurposed into a vicious flailhead on a long handle. You know not what incense the Grand Diviner used to fuel his mad visions, but it burns like poison, and the weapon produces it from some unknown inexorable source. Okay, so will poison enemies? Okay, has a reach of 6. Censer strike. 6 AP, 15 fatigue. Also, yes, this range of 2 tiles. Pretty nice. Oh yeah, leaves a cloud of miasma on target tiles. So that's not necessarily good for us. But I guess I won't complain about it. And also has Castigate. Sweeping Strike. Can hit up to 3 targets. Has a range of 2 tiles, which is pretty insane. Also leaves that miasma. Okay. So let's compare a bit with this Gunther the Grinning's Punisher. So the damage, the base damage is pretty similar. It's 5% less effective against armor, not that that matters. Well, in any case, I guess Einar is going to be using this new one. Sadly, we don't have 2 flail guys now. I guess theoretically I could give one of those to Zubair, but then I waste the Duelist perk. Since he does get the Weapon Master Flail perks. Maybe that does make sense, because I haven't found like a famed one-handed weapon. So what I'll do for now at least is give this Censer of the Diviner to Einar, I think. So let's take a look. Let's take a look. How much fatigue is this? 12. So we do have the Iron Lungs, but no finesse, at least not yet, and also no battle flow. So I think since... Well, then again, you don't even have Berserk either. Well, in that case, maybe we continue like this. So Einar continues using the Gunther the Grinning's Punisher, and now Zubair is using this, at least for now. Like, I guess I should be happy about that, but I'm a bit saddened that I took Duelist. But, well, at least the Weapon Master is getting some use. Well, let's go with that for now. This is a pretty fatigue-intensive weapon to use, so maybe if Zubair gets to level 19, we'll take Finesse to help with that, if he's still using this. Alright, also yes, we have the Nimble gear from the Diviner. So, like I said, ideally, I guess... Well, let's take a look. Let's take a look. Does anything special happen if I equip this? At least I don't notice anything. How about if I have both of them? It doesn't seem like anything's happening. No set bonuses. At least I don't notice anything. Anyway, let's think about this for a second here. So 135, yeah, well, this is better than Assassin's Robes are. But I guess I don't necessarily want to use the Cowl of Divination, though, on Zahiri. I guess there's a slim chance that something special will activate if all three pieces are equipped on the same guy, but this isn't Diablo, so maybe not. Okay, I don't think anything happened, so probably not. Let's give this sensor back to Zubair. Zahiri, what were you using before as a helmet? Just an open-faced salad, I think. Okay. And let's use one of these Hyena fur mantles. I think that's far better than the bone plating is. Yeah, okay. 150 minus 9 now. So does anyone who's nimble also have steel brow? Is, I guess, my question. Who's nimble and has steel brow? Maybe no one. Leofric could take it, but like I said, I kind of need battle flow for next level. You are Poise. Does have steel brow though. Like, I guess it's not against the rules to use this -2 fatigue new helmet on someone who's using Poise as well. As long as they have the steel brow. So maybe for Theodobald at some point, but maybe not yet. Hadi is nimble and could get steel brow. I'll mark that as blue here. So that's an option, though then again, this is -3 vision, so I don't think so. Our Wolfgang doesn't have steel brow. I mean, I guess he can wear a heavier body armor if I do the switch. But for now, I think we'll just leave that in the inventory. Maybe at some point I will actually equip it on someone. Anyway, I'll mark some items for repairs, and I guess we now head back to civilization. Let's stop by a Tandorf, I guess. Well, let's camp for a bit first. Let's camp for a bit. So yeah, like I said, now the only main goal left is the Black Monolith. And like I've said previously, maybe a couple of times, is that maybe we are over-preparing for it, but since I don't have the Save Scum Luxury anymore, I think it is warranted. So we'll definitely wait for these two to be level 11 at the least, and if Theodobald fails, I might decide that we'll still go in and not train up someone else, but ideally he succeeds with promise potential because his hit point situation is, well, definitely not good. And also I would like to see what I get from the promise potential in terms of perk trees. We have space in the inventory. A little bit. Let's just head to Tandorf though. Oh, nice. Wolfgang comes into your tent and shows off an old wound. He speaks excitedly. Is that a miracle or what? The injury has healed almost completely. You tell the man that he's made of hardier things and the gods had nothing to do with it. He nods. Yeah, I know. But it would be nice if they were looking out for me too. Just in case. Well, don't need to treat that. Okay. Okay. Also, let's use this new weapon on Supar for now, but I might at some point decide that Einar, for example, will get it instead and Supar will go back for a cleaver or something. I do like having nice famed flails, but the issue is that I have only one guy who's really specialized in them. I guess I can't really say that either though, because I did take the Weapon Master and thus I have all the flail perks. Duelist is wasted though. Unless I give Zubair Quick Hands at level 19 instead. That way he can switch between a one-handed cleaver and this thing. Maybe. I don't know if that's actually a good idea, but maybe. Okay, I'm not going to do your one skull brigands. Let's buy some expensive tools though. And I guess the quality wood. And also one stack of ammunition and also some provisions. And then we will leave, I think. Okay, I don't really want to do a 2-skull greenskin contract either. I guess what we'll do is head back to Königshaven and do some selling. And from there we can like sail again, if we'd like. So I guess it's a good thing also that no one died in that fight, but it would have also meant that the run would remain a bit more exciting as we try to find replacements and train them up. But that would also mean that the run would take even longer. Okay, brigands want to die. Well, a good chance to test out the new flail. And let's increase the combat speed. Also, they are right on time to give us more stuff to sell. Ouch, it tickles. Also, now I don't have a net for Hadi, but obviously that doesn't matter here. I'll just wait around. Well, which wasn't long. Well, let's do an offensive rotation. Having the reach attack for the flail is a pretty big deal, actually. Like I could, if Einar had it here, and I hadn't moved Mahdi here, then I could reach attack with that thing. Which is semi-insane, but we'll see how this works. Also, would be nice to have Berserk and Battle Flow for the guy who uses it, but you can't get everything. Yeah, sure, take the high ground. Why not? Good hit there. Well, take the high ground, I guess. Let's leave this skill for someone else. Milo, move. Move and adrenaline. So yeah. Hopefully I actually get to use these abilities here. Well, obviously I can, but would be nice to use them before they're already broken. Before we've broken them. Which, since Super is pretty slow, might not be the case. Okay, no underdog for Milo, but I think he'll be fine here. It's only brigands. Bonk. Bonk. Schliss and slash. Yeah, this weapon will be really nice because it can be used from the back line as well. Well, that's not the only reason, but still. Let's use Onslaught. And Gerhard, go for one of them. Alright, let's see what this thing can do. 95s from the back line. How about this castigate ability? Yeah, that looks to be nice. Missed one of them though. Oh yeah, the miasma. The miasma is a thing. And won't help us at all in the Black Monolith because obviously skeletons are immune to such things. Well, whatever. Yeah, the miasma I'm not all that convinced about. It might even be a detriment overall. By the time you get it, like, it's only going to hinder you. But sure, why not? It's not a big deal either way. And obviously you can plan around that. Anyway, let's kill the rest of them as well. I'll also step here with Gerhard. Take a bit of damage. Only 5. Maybe it's a weaker version. I don't know. Okay. Two fools left to kill. Alright, Wolfgang gets a level up. Inventory is full. Okay, let's get rid of some junk here. Good enough. Okay, and also, once again, repair that stuff, but let's level Wolfgang first. He does get a perk point, having reached level 15. It's probably going to be Backstabber for him. I'll take more hit points as well. Okay. Could also take like Fruits of Labor or Leverage. I mean, Leverage does make sense. The Backstabber might be better though, especially when trying to hit like shield users. I'll go with Backstabber. And let's mark like Leverage in green here in case he does reach level 19. Which would take quite a bit of playtime though, so we'll see. Also, yes, daggers. If someone's still using like a regular dagger, let's instead use these things. Rondel daggers. Repair that garbage. Repair that garbage. Right, and also, yes, someone should get this assassin's robe now. Maybe Einar. Yeah, probably Einar. And then we have a leather lamellar armor with one of these Heinefur mantles. 110. But you're using a pretty heavy helmet. How about you? Yeah, that should work. Gerhard gets this, I think. Still getting the max value out of Nimble. And I think, yes, I will be picking up Dodge and Relentless for him to boost his survivability. Alright, now let's continue. So there's still a few things here to repair, I suppose. At least that. One Scrammas axe. Kings and Company. Okay, here we are. No longer do we have ambushed trade routes. Let's train up these two. What is this? Out of curiosity, it is a caravan. I might even take that because we can spawn something famed, though I've been pretty unlucky with that. Also, here is a Swordmaster. I have been saying I want one, but I'm not going to get this guy. Let's roll with what we have. Even Milo is doing okay. He's not the best, but he's good enough. At least I hope he's good enough. Anyway, let's see about the selling price. 17. Well, sure. Let's go with that. And I think I will take the caravan. See if we get lucky, perhaps. And I am going to just sell these marble busts. There might be a use for them, but I doubt it. I doubt it, especially when they're located here at the bottom of the inventory with all the rest of the so-called valuables. I'll keep the military cleaver just in case I want to switch back into that with Zubair. Also, I guess I'll repair that before I sell it. I'll sell the occult robes, among other things. Alright, and also I guess I don't need metal pauldrons at all. Okay, so that means we are ready to go, it seems. Let's also buy tools. I guess just one stack. Well, getting overflow 4 is fine. Let's get 2 stacks instead. And let's take this caravan. Okay, so let's see. Does our bad luck with the caravans continue, or can we spawn something actually nice here? We have 69,000. Would be nice to be able to spend it before the men can again demand more wages. I mean, I suppose I could allow them to have more money, but the thing is they never stop asking. And I am a cheap, miserable old man sometimes, so let's avoid that if we can. Okay, made it here without interruptions. Let's see. Oh, okay, this time there are things happening. Wall flail. Not fantastic though. It's not bad, but I don't think we'll be using it. Ignores more armor and weapon skills build up -3 fatigue. So decent, but like I said, won't be using it. Then we have like kind of similar two-handed flail. Very similar. Won't be getting that either. Then we have a polearm. Come on, let me see. It's like mediocre, I think, so won't be getting it. Damage is not enhanced. Ignores more armor and has more chance to hit head. We already have 3 famed polearms anyway. This one is far better. And we have the famed pike as well with enhanced damage, and we have the Warsight with enhanced damage, so definitely don't need that polearm. Let's also leave that one. And then we have... Okay, this is like one of the... let's see. Kriegsmesser. A famed Kriegsmesser, it seems. Sword/cleaver. Not very good though. More effectiveness against armor and weighs less, it seems. Yeah, that's not very good. Okay, so won't be getting anything there. How about the armorer? We have a famed helmet and a couple of famed Battleforged armors. And the thing is, I don't need Battleforged armors, I don't think. The helmet is pretty nice though. 341. So that is an upgrade for both of the Battleforged guys. So I guess I'll get the helmet. Which is not all that exciting to be honest, but it is an upgrade. I guess it goes for Zubair, though Zubair does have steel brow. Milo does not. This can be used perhaps with Hoys. The Nomad's Crown, that is. I guess Zubair does get that, but I don't know, might be... Well, if he reaches level 19, if the run goes on long enough, it's between Brawny and Finesse probably, for fatigue purposes. Also, you are already using a famed armor, but this is slightly, ever so slightly better. So have that instead. And now we have this thing. Theodobold is poise. Not sure if you can get like more armor perk trees with promise potential. I would imagine that you can. But for now he's using poise. I guess he will use this famed helmet. Alright. And like I said, I think there's only 2 guys who use Reforged, which means those armors will remain here. They are also hugely expensive. 356. Not as good as that one. Slightly better than this one. But I don't think it's a good enough upgrade to warrant that expenditure. So let's leave it there. Okay, and there is nothing else of interest really here. Guess I'll get some goat cheese though. Alright. And that's enough for this episode. So, pretty successful episode, I must say. No one died, which is the ideal situation, usually. Not always, but usually. Anyway, next time we'll continue training up Gerhard and Theodobald, preparing for the Black Monolith. I don't know where we'll go, though. There's still some legendary locations to do, which I might do even though they're not the goals, like the Ichirok maybe, which means the Barbarian Madman first. Both of those fights should be pretty damn easy at this point. So maybe go for that, maybe just go scout east, we'll see, we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching and I shall see you next time.